Horrifying moment: cops kill New Orleans terrorist in Bourbon Street shootout after he slaughtered 14 people. Live updates. This is the disturbing moment. 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Bahar Jabbar is shot dead by police after slaughtering 14 innocent people in the streets of New Orleans. The FBI is still conducting its investigation, and on Thursday released new images of Jabbar taken just 1 hour prior to the mass slaying, hoping it will prompt new leads from members of the public. Jabbar rammed his rental truck through revelers on Bourbon Street in the early hours of New Year's Day, killing 14 and leaving dozens more injured. Alongside the new images of Jabbar, they also released an image of a cooler that they say he loaded with IEDs and left on Bourbon Street in the Louisiana city. Early on Thursday, police in Las Vegas identified a Green Beret as being responsible for blowing up a Cybertruck outside Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas. Authorities say there is no definitive link between Jabbar and Matthew Livelsberger, 37, who was identified due to his tattoos. Both terrorists were killed on Wednesday in the chilling attacks across the country. As investigators search for the motives behind the attacks, the FBI said special agents and our law enforcement partners are currently conducting a number of court-authorized search warrants in New Orleans and other states. Follow DailyMail.com's live coverage below as law enforcement continue to probe both incidents. A civilian caught the moment police shot dead Shamsud-Din Bahar Jabbar on video. The person was filming the carnage after Jabbar drove into crowds on New Year's Day. "A man just died," he shouted, pivoting the camera to show police lights in the wreckage. A split second later, a hail of bullets descends upon the area as Jabbar exits his vehicle and fires off shots. Police shot Jabbar dead during the shootout, as the man filming retreated from the scene along with panicked crowds. "Oh hell no!" the man shouts as he searches for safety. Shamsud-Din Jabbar was part of a Muslim community in Houston with a history of hardline Islamism, DailyMail.com can reveal. The 42-year-old killed 14 and injured dozens more after declaring his support for ISIS and ramming a Ford pickup truck through New Orleans on New Year's Day. The FBI has probed Jabbar's ties to ISIS and hunted for potential accomplices. One focus is his Muslim immigrant community in northern Houston and nearby mosque Masjid Bilal, which is now swarming with police, agents, and armored vehicles. The mosque belongs to the Islamic Society of Greater Houston, ISGH, which runs 20 centers across Texas' biggest city. It officially promotes tolerance, but the group also has a troubling track record of extremist preaching. This includes its former cleric Zoubir Bouchikhi, who has been deported from the U.S. Bouchikhi has called non-Muslims worse than animals and shared anti-Christian Saudi propaganda at his Houston mosques. Since Jabbar's attack, the mosque and ISGH have gone quiet. They did not answer DailyMail.com's request for comment and have reportedly urged members to brush off requests for information from investigators and journalists. That's according to an ISGH memo shared on social media, calling on congregants to refer queries to the Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR, an advocacy group with ties to the ultra-conservative Muslim Brotherhood. If anyone is contacted by the media, it is very important that you do not respond. If approached by the FBI and a response is necessary, please refer to CAIR and ISGH, says the note. It is crucial that we stay united at this time as we condemn these terrible acts. Jabbar was killed in a shootout with officers after he exited his vehicle and started shooting, injuring 2 NOLA police officers who are in a stable condition. An ISIS flag and weapons were found inside the vehicle. The FBI is assessing Jabbar's ties to the violent armed Sunni group that was once a major force in Syria, Iraq, and elsewhere, but has since faded. The Islamic Society of Greater Houston once hired the Algerian cleric Zoubir Bouchikhi, seen here, who says non-Muslims are worse than animals. Jabbar lived around the corner from the Masjid Bilal Mosque and Religious Center, seen here, part of the Islamic Society of Greater Houston. A security expert has said he believes that authorities in New Orleans may have got lackadaisical after handling larges in the past. Clint Emerson, a retired Navy SEAL, told the New York Post that authorities might have been a victim of their own success. He said, "There are so many events that happen outside of Mardi Gras on Bourbon Street, and they've just been using the same old tactics, which have worked. It's like, well, we haven't had an issue, so what do we need to improve? I think they just got lackadaisical." He believes they should have pushed a perimeter around the celebrations, saying it should have been extended to 1 or 2 city blocks. Over 300 cops and 60 state troopers had been downtown ahead of the celebrations. Emerson added, "The bottom line is, unfortunately, when you talk about these lone wolf, martyr-type deals where he knows he's gonna die in the end. It's difficult to stop that. Daryl Huckabee told NBC that he was in the city with friends and family for the Sugar Bowl when he witnessed the aftermath of the attack on Wednesday morning. He said he had gone to sleep at his hotel prior to the attack and woke up the next morning to text messages asking if everyone was okay. The 72-year-old said, "I wondered what in the world there was to be okay from. And then he looked out the window. I could see 7 bodies still laying in the street right outside my window. We were just heartsick." Huckabee is a former student of the University of Georgia and had arrived in the city to see his alumni team play Notre Dame. He added, "Our plane was full of Notre Dame and Georgia fans that were very sad to have to be leaving the city without watching the football game. New Orleans is a tough old broad. She's been through a lot, and she'll bounce back from this. It's more about the resilience of Americans, and I think both teams will be playing with a different mindset tonight." The mother of New Orleans attack victim Matthew Tenedorio has said she texted her son to let her know when he arrived home as he celebrated the new year. Kathy and Lou Tenedorio never received that text after their 25-year-old son was murdered during the attack. Speaking with CNN, Kathy said she told him, "I love you. Happy New Year. Text me when you get home. Please don't forget, we're going to be worried about you." His father Lou told the outlet, "This morning the gravity of the situation really hit home, and I just realized that I will never see my son again. I just broke down, and honestly, my heart is broken. It's just so hard for me right now to live with this." A coroner told the family that he died of a gunshot wound. He had been employed as an audiovisual technician at the Superdome, with his employers releasing a statement on Thursday. A joint statement from the NFL's Saints and NBA's Pelicans said, "We remain heartbroken by the tragic events that claimed innocent lives in our city yesterday morning." Among those lost was Matthew Tenedorio, a valued member of the ASM New Orleans video production team. Matthew was young, talented, and had a bright future helping deliver quality content for both the New Orleans Saints and Pelicans. Our thoughts, prayers, and deepest condolences are with the Tenedorio family and everyone affected by this senseless act of terrorism. Together, as a city, state, and region, we will come back stronger from this tragedy. Born in New York, Tenedorio grew up in Slidell, Louisiana on the opposite side Lake Pontchartrain from New Orleans with 2 brothers. Retired bureau agents Scott Duffy and Chris Swecker told Fox News that the attack on Wednesday could embolden ISIS and other terrorist organizations. Swecker told the outlet, "This is a time where ISIS is under extreme stress, and their existence is being threatened in Syria and elsewhere. It would make sense for them to double down on their message to radicalize Americans to put them into action and activate any cells that they have in place." The suspect Shamsud-Din Bahar Jabbar seems to have been radicalized by the Islamic State. He was found with their flag attached to a pickup he rammed into New Year revelers, killing 15 of them. The driver of an 18-wheeler who told officers in South Carolina that he had a bomb inside his vehicle has been taken into custody. Bomb members swept the vehicle and deemed it safe, with I-85 now being reopened after being shut for hours. Images taken show lines of traffic backed up on the highway, with a detour being put in place. Governor South Carolina said in a statement to his ex, "I-85 near mile marker 44 is temporarily closed out of an abundance of caution due to a bomb threat issued during a routine traffic stop this afternoon by SC Transport Police. SCDOT and state law enforcement are on the scene, and normalized 85 traffic will resume once the tractor-trailer is swept and cleared by SLED's bomb squad." Images taken show lines of traffic backed up on the highway, with a detour being put in place. A source has told CNN that the White House has so far not seen any evidence of foreign direction or involvement in the New Orleans attack. President Biden spent an hour inside the Situation Room with his top officials on Thursday, the outlet said, and received a detailed brief on their investigation. Following that, Biden said, "Federal law enforcement and intelligence community are actively investigating any foreign or domestic contacts and connection that could possibly be relevant to the attack."